Hi there, I'm Hilary Baldwin. I'm a dermatologist in New York, in Brooklyn, New York specifically, but I'm joined by a fellow New Yorker.
Hello, Michelle Henry. I'm a dermatologist and Mohs surgeon in Midtown East, New York, and I'm thrilled to be here with you.
Isn't this fun? We're going to talk about the barrier function of the skin. Why don't we start off big and then go small? So,
Perfect.
what's the importance of the barrier function of the skin? How important is it for us to keep a healthy skin barrier?
Yeah, so a healthy skin barrier is critically important. So when you think about the skin, it's the largest organ, and it really is, I kind of consider it like the foot soldier of our immune system. So it has so many functions. It keeps us safe, it keeps the bad things out and the good things in, so it's going to help protect us from microbes and other external aggressors, whether it's UV light or pollutants. It helps with thermoregulation, so making sure that our temperature is okay, and make sure that we have appropriate water balance, and make sure that we're having appropriate hydration so that our cells can function appropriately. It's critical for our sensory function, so we feel a lot of things through our skin, so it really is critically important to have a skin barrier that's intact.
And when it's not, we end up with very famously barrier dysfunction disorders like atopic dermatitis and psoriasis, but even acne, and certainly rosacea and xerosis, all with a poorly functioning barrier and the diseases that follow suit as a result. So keeping the barrier as healthy as possible is of crucial importance. So how are we actually going to do this? We've heard a lot in the past couple of years about the importance of ceramides and maintaining the lipid bilayer. But we haven't talked a lot about natural moisturizing factor. So I look at it that the ceramides are part of the physical barrier, helping to maintain the lipid bilayer, but the natural moisturizing factors are a part of the chemical barrier that our skin has. What do you think about that?
I love that categorization. So when you think about natural moisturizing factor, they're a collection of molecules that are water soluble, and it helps to really draw in hydration and moisture. And so they live inside of the corneocytes, and a lot of it are breakdown products of filaggrin.
Right.
We see urea, we see lactate. And so it really is to keep that hydration, and also helps our lipid layer function appropriately. So it really is a critical part of maintaining our barrier.
So we have our endogenous natural moisturizing factors, but sometimes that's not enough, right? Some people are born with mutations that reduce filaggrin, for example, and since this is a breakdown product of filaggrin, not much in the way of natural moisturizing factors, so we end up with all sorts of xerosis, ichthyosis, for example. So we can apply natural moisturizing factors exogenously to help our beleaguered corneocytes to keep up with the moisturization process of the skin. So what do you recommend? I mean, there's lots of, there's, as you said, amino acids and urea and pyrrolidone carboxylic acid and salts. And how do you pick?
You know, I think it is really important. So when we talk about, most dermatologists will agree, when we're optimizing a moisturizer, we want to make sure we have an occlusive element, we want to have an emollient element, and we want to have that humectant.
Right.
And so, you know, some of when I think about bolstering the natural moisturizing factor, I love urea. So I think urea is a fantastic ingredient to add. I love lactate. I think it functions quite well. So some of my favorite moisturizers will include those ingredients. And I find that I really get fantastic superior results when I'm making sure that I'm attacking all three of those categories in optimizing moisturization.
Right, so we're not replacing ceramides. We're having a happy marriage of ceramides and natural moisturizing factors in our quality moisturizer that includes an occlusive or emollient layer as well.
Exactly, and I think it's really important because it better mimics the skin's natural function. And so when we're including all of those elements, I find that patients do quite well.
So we're considering it especially important in xerotic skin. What about atopic dermatitis?
Critically important, because that is what they're missing. Again, in atopic dermatitis, we know that, again, it's that they have the faulty filaggrin, right? And that faulty filaggrin that we know is so critical to functioning NMF. Those are the kinds of patients who really critically need a natural moisturizing factor boost.
Right, so we're picking our moisturizer extremely carefully. making sure that our patients recognize the importance of moisturization, that they don't leave the office, as I think many of our colleagues allow our patients to leave the office without that crucial step of discussing cleansers and moisturizers and sunscreens. No visit is complete until we've discussed those issues. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. You know, it is a critical part of our function as dermatologists. You know, the skin needs to look good, feel good, but also function optimally. We know that it functions optimally when we have appropriate moisturization.
Couldn't agree more. This was fun.